Hi, welcome to Attainable Green. I'm Jess, and today I'm giving a mid-July update on my Catasetum Alliance orchids. This month, all the Catasetum orchids are in active growth, and they are in various stages of growth. I moved almost all of them outside this month so they can get more sun. They love light, and they can handle some direct sun conditions if properly acclimated. On my temporary trellis, the orchids get about 2 hours of direct sun in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon. The rest of the time, they're in bright shade. This is my first year growing orchids outdoors, so I'm testing to see how it goes. We don't get rain in our summers, so I have to rely on the tap to keep these hydrated. I'll divide these into 3 sections. 1. General Catasetum hybrids. 2. Catasetum tigrinum hybrids. And 3. Cloweasias and their hybrids. Let's get started with the ones that have grown the most, the general Catasetum hybrids. These ones are pretty much done growing leaves. You can tell because the last leaf is fully grown, either towards the middle or to the side. There's no leaf coming out from the center of the growth. Also, they're starting to fatten around the base to make pseudobulbs. The striations along the base of the growth is changing color to let you know that it's starting to go to pseudobulb. First is Catasetum Portagee star Brian Lawson sunrise crossed with lucis. This one is a large plant, and it's almost 2 feet tall from base to the top of the leaves. The leaves are done growing, and it's fattening the base to make a pseudobulb. The new growth is already larger than last year's growth, so that's always a good sign. Next is Alexandra Saava, a hybrid of Clowesia Russelliana Northen and Catasetum denticulatum. It's growing fast, and from base to leaf tip, it's 20 inches. The leaves are mature, but the base of the growth has not started to swell. Next is Catasetum upper Echelon crossed with Abalo. It has fully mature leaves, and from base to leaf tip, it's about 12 inches. It has not developed a pseudobulb yet. Lastly, Burchett crossed with Burchett. The slowest of these to come out of dormancy is still a small growth and only just leafing out. The growth is about 5 inches from base to leaf tip. The next section are Tycrinum hybrids. They're supposed to be compact mini Catasetums. They give off a good amount of sap as they grow. They have something going on that's causing chlorosis in the leaves. Basically, something is causing the leaves to become spotted and lose the green color, the chlorophyll. On the underside of the leaves, there's no webbing or pitting. I'm going to do a separate video diagnosing and treating this situation. But on to the plants. First is the Portagee star Brian Lawson sunrise crossed with Tiginum SVO. It's maturing its leaves, and the growth is about 16 inches so far. The base is starting to swell. Next is a sibling, a similar cross with a different Tycrinum cultivar. Portagee star Brian Lawson sunrise crossed with Tycrinum Wyche. It's not as big as the previous plant, but it's close. The growth is about 14 inches with no swelling on the base. Next is the Orchidglade hybrid. It fell out of the pot, so the leaves are not as mature, and it's currently 14 inches from base to leaf tip. The leaf color is slightly darker than the other Catasetums. They all get the same amount of light since they're all in the same place, so it might just be a genetics thing. Next is the Frilly Dorris hybrid. It has 2 growths, and one is starting to fatten around the base. The growth is about 14 inches from base to leaf tip. This one has one of the worst chlorotic spots on the newest leaves. It's still growing well, and the second growth doesn't seem to have these spots. Last is the Dunn hybrid. It has 2 growths, and the biggest growth is about 3 inches. The Clowesia in its parentage makes this one a late bloomer. It's the only one of the Tigrinum hybrids that doesn't have any chlorotic spots. I moved it to a bigger pot, so it has room for the new roots to grow. I put sphagnum moss around the roots and placed it in a slightly larger container without having to disturb the current root system. The last set are the Cloweasias and their hybrids. I have 2 hybrids and 1 species. They emerge out of dormancy later than the other Catasetums, so they're late season growers and bloomers. First is the Clowesia Russelliana Northen, my first Clowesia and my first Catasetum. I made several mistakes with this one last year, and the 2 pseudobulbs last year were only half the size. This year, I'm doing much better. It has 2 new growths leafing out, and 1 starting. The largest one is about 5 inches from base to leaf tip. Next is the Clowesia Dunn. I'm sure you've heard me talk about this one already, but since the repot, it's growing so quick. At first, I found 6 growths in the pot. But now, the 2 pseudobulbs each have a new growth, and roots are coming out. So there are a total of 8 new growths on this one. It's going to be exciting to see how this one develops. Last is the Clowesia Russelliana. This is my most recent acquisition, and I'm waiting to see what it does. It's out of dormancy and has a pretty advanced new growth. But during shipment, the short roots seem to have lost their growing tips. The pseudobulb didn't get any light, judging by the white and pale color of the new growth. I'm putting it near a window and seeing if it greens up and if new roots will grow. I'm sure it will, but I'm just going to keep an eye on it. It hasn't got any water yet because there aren't any roots to uptake it. all the previous year's roots were gone, so this year's roots are going to sustain it from this point on. Luckily, the pseudobulb isn't very shriveled, so that means that there is enough energy storage to support the new growth. I'll be making monthly updates on these guys during the growing season, so you can see the changes they undergo throughout the year. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, Attainable Green, for all the latest updates. Hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Bye!